Hello and welcome to a very special mystery beer review. It is me, Stu. Welcome to the Lagerlogs channel. It's Friday night. I've got some friends and we're going to be drinking a very special mystery beer. So, joining me tonight, we have Mark from the Craft Beer Hub.
How you doing, mate? All right. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. And joining us is Tom, the Crumby Beard.
Howdy doody. Again.
Yes, thank you for this. So the original plan was to have Tom here and we're going to do a whole thing, but Tom can't make it, but he gave us the blessing to go ahead and do a last minute mystery beer review. Now, both of you have been on before, but not together. So
True. This is dangerous.
I think Mark was maybe our second episode, and we sent him a bottle of Tennant's Lager.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And for Tom, I sent you a tin of, I think it was the Orkney Brewing Company's Lock, which was a strong lager. No, a strong ale.
It was kind of Scotch ale, but not quite. But yeah, it was that realm. It was banging. I definitely won out between me and Mark on those mystery beers. That's all
I know.
So, but I have sent you a very special tin of beer. As you can see, it has been wrapped in gaffer tape.
Demonstrate for you, good people.
Slapped a very glossy Lagerlog sticker on top. Now, I mean, I went over some of that stuff like twice because you could see through that tape. So I made sure to cover up like all the important bits.
The only bit you can see is the ABV.
So I didn't want to kind of let you start drinking and go, whoa, wait a second. I felt that's a bit creepy just to kind of chuck you in the deep end. I thought, let's be transparent. You could know what you're getting into. So, yeah, I think it's now time to crack these beers open and get a wee look and a sniff of the brew.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I will awkwardly open mine underneath the table because it still has.
He's not wrapped his own.
Oh, hello. She's a lively old girl.
Mine only arrived an hour ago, so it could be very shaken up.
Yeah, mine was a bit lively.
And
This looks good.
The crazy thing. Sent it out on Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
And we got midweek, and I think they still hadn't shifted. Was it Thursday? I think, Mark, you got your beer?
Yes, I got my beer Thursday at about 3:00.
Mm-hmm. And Crummy, like not even 2 hours ago, that eventually was launched at your house.
Yeah, this has been at my house for an hour and a half at this point.
So, and I mean,
interesting.
Sent away at the same time, it just kind of shows you the work ethic of the every drivers in your area.
Indeed.
Or the lack of.
So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Looks good.
It does, doesn't it?
It does look good. I make assumptions when you send me beer. I'm like, it's going to be Scottish. I'm pretty confident.
That's all he's got access to.
Mm-hmm. And then when it comes in with a high ABV, I'm thinking, right, it's either an Impy Stout or an Imperial Red or a Scotch Ale. And this is not that vibe.
Yeah.
This is West Coast IPA all day long for me. Maybe a little bit lighter than, but yeah.
It's a bit too sweet.
I'm just going to take a little.
It's very sweet on the nose, like lots of like melon notes.
I'm getting melons, definitely stone fruit, but there is that kind of burnt, bitter orange in there for me. Slightly resinous. It's not piney enough though to be West Coast, is it?
No, it feels quite soft for this ABV. It's not very.
I'm loving this in-depth analysis.
I want to guess what it is. Have we got to guess what it is, or just review it?
I mean, as we go, we'll kind of try and work it out. It's to me, I'm smelling it. I think, oh, it smells creamy.
Yeah, it's definitely got. There is a definitely creamy sort of richness in there for me. I think you're right,
yeah.
Stu.
That's where I was going with the melon thing. Think like a honeydew or
Okay.
cantaloupe melon.
Aye.
That kind of, yeah. But I don't think it's lactose though. It's not quite.
No, it hasn't got that. I find lactose. I don't know about you guys, but I find it smells quite sickly. It's kind of lactose aromas sort of make beer smell sickly to me, and I'm not getting that.
Okay.
But it looks good and it smells pretty damn decent. It smells lovely and fresh.
Well, let's drink it then, lads. Cheers.
Go in.
Cheers. What ABV was it again? Sorry, it's 8.3.
8.2.
Yes.
8.3. Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Goodbye,
Cheers.
Friday night.
Oh. There's a lot of flavour there.
Cool.
Well, there's a lot going on.
That's oddly easy drinking.
Yes.
Smooth, which is worrying. Maybe this is what part of my transparency. Now, let's just be careful with what we're walking into here.
It's very fresh. It's definitely a bit more resinous, a bit more bitter than the aroma was sort of telling me. Definitely slightly astringent at the back end, quite sticky bitterness.
Are you still leaning towards West Coast?
I don't know if it's going to be defined as a West Coast IPA, but there's definitely West Coast. I think we're going to see some Columbus, some Centennial in here.
Oh man, you're breaking it down to the hops now.
Yeah, it's giving me that kind of. There is some classic West Coast cues in there, but it's not entirely West Coast for me.
I think there's some Citra in that.
Oh no!
Oh, Tommy in this Citra.
It's not a lot. Tommy? It's not a lot. I don't dislike it. There's definitely other stuff in there, but there's this tiny kind of astringent hop character. You know, said it was a little bit astringent on the back end.
Yeah,
and that's what I think. I think that's the Citra doing that. I think that's just a little bit.
It doesn't tell us the hops in there. So,
but it's definitely got a nice element of sort of caramelly sweetness. Probably a bit. I don't know, maybe a bit of sort of caramel because it has got a bit of caramel sweetness. The colour suggests a bit of caramel.
And I feel like it's quite like it's got quite a loud flavour to it. Like normally when you have a beer and you have a couple of sips in, the flavours kind of settle down and then you're just drinking just like a nice cold ale. Whereas this one is kind of like a burst of flavour with every mouthful.
It's almost a bit marmalade-y towards the back.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
ABV, Alan, just because you're asking, mate, is 8.3.
So I'm pretty confident there's. I mean, I don't know if Stu actually confirmed or not earlier, but I'm pretty confident that this is Scottish, based on that malt bill. Okay, I would say based on that malt bill because it's got that kind of very. How do I describe it? You know how a lot of German lager malt will go like a really bready route.
Yeah.
For some reason, Scottish brewing tends to do that, but then it's almost a bit more rounded than that, and almost becomes a little bit cakey. It's like another malt depth level up, and I feel like that's probably detracting from what the real style is. It could be misleading.
I think you're right with Scottish. You said, sorry, Stu, you already said Scottish. Yeah. And the reason I think it would be Scottish is I just find it so clean. There's no kind of sort of, you know, with the water, it can bring sort of funky flavors, slightly minerally if it's treated.
Yeah.
It's just clean. It reminds me of those Glen Spean beers that I had from you, Tom. It's kind of got that. Do you know what I mean? The water's it almost isn't. Obviously, beer is 99% water, but it almost isn't there to the point you don't want to talk about it. So you can from that perspective, I can definitely say that. Yeah, I can definitely see that being Scottish.
If you stick your nose in it now, is there something a little bit charred, a little bit? I don't want to say peaty because I've said it about a lot of Scottish beers, and I don't think it's quite there. But there's like this, just kind of slightly.
There's just maybe a slightly earthy tone.
Yeah, there's this kind of deep earthy thing that I don't think is a hop.
I'm not getting peat like you say, and I get sort of lavender. Not lavender. What do I mean lavender? Sort of like a heathland sort of weed, a heathland flower. Flower's pink.
Do you mean you mean heather?
Heather, yeah. I normally get sort of a heathery.
Oh yeah, like Williams Bros do is it Froch or Froch?
Yeah,
and that's like a heather ale, I think they call it.
Okay.
Yeah. Previously, I'm sure I've said it before, but previously known as the Heather Beer Company because that was all they made for a while.
Wow, is that? Yeah, you know what? I feel like I've seen an old video, one of Simon's old videos about that. But it does smell quite floral. It's not. It's not. I'm now sort of putting my mind into it. And
hold on. Have we just walked into a massive clue? What's it called? Williams Bros do an IPA that's not this strength. I don't know. It's a bit more astringent that though. I don't know.
Oh, it was part of one of their beer festivals. It might have even been a permanent fixture on the Audio Lidl shelf a little while ago, a year or 18 months ago.
It's definitely a permanent fixture in Scotland because my other half's dad buys it for himself sometimes. I can't remember what it's called now.
The one Williams Brothers beer that I know, obviously, that this isn't is Guava. What was it called? Shea Guava, the lager.
No.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I actually found that right.
I had a can of that on holiday because it's quite a light beer. But yeah, that was the first of me noticing that Williams Bros have like a totem pole range.
Yes,
and you can kind of stack the cans. And I was like, I've seen them for years, and I've never once put that together. That there was a totem pole, and it's like, oh, of course.
I want to say
now I've got floral and heather in my head. I can't get it out now when I smell this bit.
I wanted to say it was something like Jasper, but then that was because that was what John had on his T-shirt earlier. So I think that might be.
No, this is not like Darren Brown where there's all this subliminal messages and suggestions. I didn't send John a T-shirt instead of a beer. Wear this and dance around.
The astringency, and it isn't bitterness. It's there. It is sort of. I suppose it is business technically, but it's kind of the astringent stickiness comes across almost bordering on like a bit chemically, if you know what I mean. A little bit kind of artificial.
I am noticing it still has quite like a bitter aftertaste. Just at the very.
I need to make a statement. I've just looked at this can again.
Are you looking too hard at the can?
I'm not looking through. I can't see what it is. But you know the bit you've let the volume, the ABV?
Yes.
You look at that. The V is very distinct. And I think...
Giving away too much.
Okay. I don't know what the beer is because I've never had anything at this strength from them, but I am fairly confident it's a Williams Bros beer based on that.
I would tend to agree because
it tastes better than most Williams Bros beers. So
if that is a Williams Brothers beer, that's one of the better ones I've had.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'd be interested to know if it is a Williams Brothers beer, if that came from Aldi or Lidl or not. Because if that's come from Aldi or Lidl, because you talked about home bargains earlier, if that's come from Aldi or Lidl, your Aldi or Lidl game is way better than what ours is.
Yeah, to be fair, if this is less than $4.50 a can, I'm going to need to know where because I'm in Scotland week after next, and I'm going to go buy a load of it because it's actually very good.
Yeah.
It is very good.
But I am getting, since I said heather, I
Mm-hmm.
can't get that floral note out of my nose. It's literally up my nose.
I think that's just a side effect of where it's produced, though. I don't think it's an additive.
No, but I don't drink a lot of those type of beers, do I? So when I had those Glen Speed beers, I was saying to you, I think it was the Snow Goose Lager that was really floral, and it would like smack me in the face with how floral it is.
Yeah.
I think floral notes are something I can pick up quite well. I don't pick up a lot of things well, but floral notes are.
Okay.
I just can't get it out of my head.
I'm the opposite. I don't do floral well at all, so it's not really bothering me. Interesting. Style. What have we got to guess something further?
I mean, I think when we did our Tennent's beer mystery beer review, Mark, you were guessing what town it was brewed in. You were very optimistic.
Yeah, because it tasted really Burtony to me, which it just tasted. And I think I was on the right track with like mass-produced lager, but I was just in the wrong country, not only the wrong town.
Yes,
it just had that mass-produced, slightly metallic, mineral-y thing that was going on, which reminded me of Burton beers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to guess where because I'm pretty confident based on my memory of their designs that it is from them, and I can't remember where they brew now. It might be Glasgow, but I really can't remember. Based on the strength, style wise, it's not enough for a triple.
No,
double IPA, possibly.
Could it be?
Yeah, let's nail down a style, and then we'll reveal it because that's it. We don't spend too long on these, and there's so much more to tell you after revealing the beer. So, Mark, what style would you call it?
I'm really divided. Double IPA, double West Coast. I'm going to go double West Coast IPA. I think there's enough in there.
You just combined both answers there.
Sorry, double IPA or double West Coast. That's kind of where I was.
Yeah,
I'm going to go double West Coast because there's enough West Coast cues in there for me.
All right, Crummy.
I don't think it's a Westie. I think it's just too sweet, and I don't think the hops are that extreme. I'm torn between just going for a double IPA or because of how sweet it is, have they tried to do something like a Scotch Ale IPA hybrid? And they've ended up calling it
my last beer.
Yeah, they ended up calling it something like
Scotch IPA.
A Scotch IPA or an Imperial IPA.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. That's a fair shout.
Or do we just go boring and go double IPA? Williams Rose. Do they tend to muck around? Do Williams Rose tend to muck around with their naming conventions? That's really the question I've got to answer.
I don't think so, but I mean, what's it? Birds and Bees, is that not described as like a summer ale? So,
yeah, true.
Don't be boring, Tommy. Come on.
Imperial IPA, because I think Scotch IPA doesn't make enough sense. It's not got that malt profile, but I feel like I want to call it something different other than what us English people would call it, just because,
And to me, I feel it's quite light or even just like the colour of it's quite light for Scotch. I always feel like that definitely leans to like a darker.
I'd expect something red in. Something more red in there if it was going to be Scotch. So I'm going to wing it with Imperial IPA because I feel like it's a bit more classic guided, if that makes sense, because it is that bit sweeter. The hops aren't too overpowering.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's muck around with the camera for the reveal.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't have a tin of Tennent's to quickly throw up and
Can you imagine?
But, no. I was going to grab it in Iron Brew there. It is Williams Brew's Double Joker.
That's Tom. That's the beer earlier when you were saying Jasper.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Joker.
Okay. Yes, Joker.
Yeah, they have their Joker IPA.
Yes.
This is Double Joker, which is, as we said, 8.3%. And for the beer festivals at the moment, they've been showing a lot of Juicy Joker on shelves. So that's become more readily available in the last couple of months. But this is a £3 beer found in Sainsbury's.
Shut the front door. That.
Wow.
£3 in Sainsbury's.
See, that original Joker, I feel like I've had it before and hated it, and then tried it again, like reluctantly, and thought it wasn't too bad. So I don't really know where I sit on it. This I really enjoyed. So it was a bit like, well, obviously it's not the same beer.
Yeah, I definitely when you compare the two, the flavor in this one is crazy.
Yeah, this is insane. £3 a can.
Yes,
it's a joke, isn't it?
I need to find a Sainsbury's on my travels next week.
And if we have a look at the screen, they describe it as an Imperial IPA.
What?
And yes, it does have Citra, unfortunately.
Oh well, to be fair, it's not a shock that I can normally pick that out, so that bit's fine.
But it does have
Centennial,
stunned. Marc.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, but I'm not happy with the malts. But Vienna malt makes absolute sense to me.
Oh, it's just got extra sugar in it to amp it up. That's interesting. Interesting. So pale malt, Vienna malt, pale crystal. Okay. 65 IBU. That's a surprise. It doesn't taste that bitter to me.
I think it's that sticky, bitter, there's that sticky thing at the back. Okay, caramel's up there.
Yeah. Sweet orange, tangy. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know where I pulled Imperial IPA out from, but it turns out to have been a good.
You nailed it.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I picked that, because NCBF, Knott's Craft Beer Festival, a few weeks ago, it wasn't Williamsburg's. It was Fierce beer. And they'd done an Imperial Red,
right?
And it reminded me a little bit of that, and I was just like, it was just like, that's an interesting naming convention. Maybe that's more of a thing in Scotland. That was all that came from. So yeah, interesting. So
that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Double Joker was the beer. If you're in Scotland, it is in Sainsbury's, £3 a can. Go out, find it for yourself, and let us know what you think.
Thanks for sending us the cans too, because that is delightful.
That is really good. For £3 as well, it's an absolute joke. I think if you'd have said £4 or £5, I'd been happy with that. But
that's it. Yeah. It's supermarket beer.
Jesus,
super
crazy, isn't it? So, as imagine if you're watching this video, you're probably already well aware of the Craft Beer Hub and the Crumby Beard. If not, there's links in the show description. Check them out. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Thank you, mate.
But yeah, till next time, feel free to like, share, subscribe, punch your mate in the arm, and tell them, why aren't you watching this? This is amazing. All right, till next time, I'm Stu. These guys are awesome. Take it easy and have a nice weekend.
Cheers, guys.
Everyone.